Hi Gabrielle, I'm just going to do a video of the arrangement that you want because it's a lot easier to explain it that way, and you can then re-watch it. Forgive this mess, this is just where I do all my GDL coding. It's ArchiCAD 19, there's stuff everywhere. So I'm going to delete this window just to give myself, just so I have some space. Go to the window tool, library, different openings, different window. What have I got? Okay, I've got a standard window. I've actually got now a few components stored in here that do a similar arrangement. So I've basically got one here for you. So I could send you this and you could start from here, but it's probably best that I show you how to achieve this rather than just give this to you. So I'm going to start with a standard window. It's got a slider in it. I'm going to put in my size, so I think you're dealing with a 2100 high. You're probably dealing with something that's about 1800 wide. So I'll set that, 1800. So the first thing I want to do is I want to set, well, probably want to set the frame profile. So you can set all that. I'm just going to use one of the ones that I've already set up in here. So I'm just going to use a 40 by 90. It's probably not accurate, but it'll do. I'll just go back to the components page. So I just chose that 40 by 90 frame. The shape is shape and size I'm not setting. That's a 2118, so it's probably close to what you want. Okay, now the panel arrangement. So I'll just click on here and I'll go to the panel arrangement page. What you basically want, it's kind of like you've got a 4 by 2, 4 by 2. Turn that on. What did I do? I did 4 by 4. Oops, 4 by 2. Turn all these things on. Okay, I'll just turn off these globals. And it looks like what you've done is you've removed these two and then set this height. So get rid of the equals. And I'm just going to make an assumption here. 600. So that's try and get you a bit of a better view of this so you can see it bigger. So that's basically the panel arrangement that you want. Now you can go in and you can adjust the sizes in here, but it's probably best to wait till you get your window in. Now you're not going to put, we have a function for the operable elements that they can spread over multiple panels, so that's how we're going to work it. So we're actually going to remove these two, which I think you've already done in your example. We're then going to go into our operable elements page. Operable elements. And this can go back to a fixed pane. So what we're going to do here, I'm just going to move this. The white needs to be down there. I might make it a little bit bigger, just so you can see more about what's going on. We'll hide that. Okay, so this is our arrangement. Right, what we want to do now is we want to take this window element and have it spread across this whole area here. So we hit the customize button. Okay. So when you have a populate all, a window will populate every individual panel. When you do the customize, you can then select an element. So this is going to be my element. I'm going to use this window arrangement, the XOX. Yeah, that an error just popped up. It's because basically I've got this single window that's got these 100 mil styles, and there's not enough space for them. Basically, I might have to put something in to stop that from occurring. So if I just basically go to a different one, okay, so you can see it sort of comes in. They're still a little too thick. I'm just gonna set that back to custom and put these down to 30s for now. So that was just the cause of that error message. So if that error message pops up, I'm not going to hide it from you. I just want you to know what's going on, so you can sort of play around with that. Okay, let's go back to the operable elements page. That was just on the door panel page, just the panel elements of that window. So I'll go back to the operable elements page. And the way I got to that panel, you can just click on this cog and then it takes you straight to the panel settings of that opening, which happens to be opening 2. Okay, back to operable elements. Now we've got the window type we want here. We're gonna stretch it. So you select it, you hit the pause, so that's basically short for position, and then you hit set start and set end. Now we want it to start there, so we don't need to change that. We just hit the set end, and then we tick this box up here, which is where we want the window to go to. Okay, and you can see that spreads that window across that whole element. Turn that off, and you can see it there. And what that does is it actually deletes the other elements. So where we did have 8 windows, we've now got 5. So it goes through and it deletes those other elements. If you reduce that, pull it back, then you'll get more windows back into those panels. So that's how you configure it. Now, I'll just place that. So I'll click OK, place it in the wall. I'm going to have a look at it in elevation because that'll show you a few things. So open section. Okay, so this is our element. We've got a few intersection properties here in the panel arrangement. You probably already know how to do that, but I'll just go sort them out. So we'll go to intersections. This one will need to be that. And these, I'm not sure what you're doing with these. I'll just make them neutral at the moment. Okay. Okay, so our intersections are sorted out. Now, you have to define how much you want these panels here to overlap. You can see they're individual different elements. If we just have a look at that in 3D. Okay, so you see there's no overlapping in that window element at the moment. So you'll have to define that. So if we go back to section, and you have to work out the size of the elements. This is a 40 mil, so maybe I should have made these 40 and have them overlap. So if I do that, I can go in here, I'll go to my operable elements. We'll go into the panel settings, I'll set these to 40. I should have a global thing for this so you don't have to keep setting 4 different values. It's kind of annoying. Okay, then I can go back to the parent page, which is the operable elements, and I can set an overlap for this. So I can set an overlap for 40. Okay, now if you want that to stay, it's best to then start storing this window type. So if you stored this as an operable element type, then that will keep that overlap at 40, and it'll keep your panel arrangement with the 40 mil styles and so on. So you should, oops, wrong button. So you should store that. Anyway, so we've got that. We click OK, have a look at that in 3D. Okay, that's looking a lot better. But we want these to line up. So what we can do, you may also want to define the actual size of these elements. At the moment, it's calculated that, you know, that's double the sides. You can put in a different width, and you can change these. You can change them even into something that probably wouldn't work. You know, the 450s will slide over the 900 together, but if you change these to 600s, then you're not going to be able to open the windows completely. If you change them to 250s or something, then so on. So you just set these to exactly what you want them to be, and then you move the mullions in to line up with them, and I'll show you how to do that. So we'll just say that they're 450 because that means they're going to meet in the middle. What we'll do now is we'll go into our panel arrangement. We need to move these, so we need the hotspots. We need the mullion hotspots shape. So if we go to our guide hotspots, change that to mullions and transoms, and click OK. Now we have these hotspots down here. that you can move to line up with these mullions and transients. Okay, so there's nodes at each, there's points and nodes for each of these. You just got to find them. They're not that easy to find always. There we go, got him. Okay, and that's how you achieve your arrangement. If that's not exactly what you wanted and I've sort of misinterpreted it or anything else, just let me know, send me an email, and I'll help you through whatever it is you need. Ta.